So at this point, I would like to introduce Ben Haynes from Children's Hospital Oakland
Hey everybody.
Research Institute. And he's going to talk about how they integrated Macs into their environment and how they had got over the challenges. Thanks, Ben.
Sure. So at CHORI, which we like to call it, we are the research arm of the Children's Hospital, and we have a slightly different purpose than the hospital itself, where we actually don't have any patients. We're not working with the kids at that level. What we're doing is a lot of basic research, and a lot of our people come from a educational environment, and they're used to sort of a real sort of free environment. They want to be able to choose the types of computers they want to use, and they want to be able to really not have a whole lot of restrictions put upon them about how they can do their research. And we don't want to do that for them either. We want them to be able to have an environment where they can really feel free to really, just go and do that scientific research that they do. I mean, a lot of it's very cutting edge, and we want to really work with that. So we have used Groups Logic's Extreme ZIP for many years. We've been using Parallels for quite a few years, and new on the scene for us is LANrev and Web Help Desk. So what do we run into? Taking a sort of a historical look back, we started off with a Windows Server environment with really just some RAID systems. And it really wasn't, robust enough for what we wanted to offer. We had issues with downtime and outages and whatnot. And so we really wanted to look at what we could do to make sure that we have a much more stable environment and something that all of our users could really benefit from. We really wanted to make sure that the systems that they were using were a little bit more consistent. So all these different flavors of OSs, we were able to kind of put together a little bit better, and we wanted to see that happen. We wanted to make sure that we could actually control those systems very well. We have some tools like App Remote Desktop with remote desktop connection with VNC. We want to be able to work on those computers, especially because we have a lot of off-site locations that we want to be able to help out and give them proper tech support. We really need to make sure that we know what's going on with all of our systems, whether we were making changes to the hardware, if someone moves one computer to another location and somebody else starts using it, or it moves to another location entirely. And we want to make sure that the software is covered with that too. And we also want to be able to have a better system for managing our help desk, our ticketing system. So these were things that we ran into, and we wanted to try to put all this together. And so what do we do? And what we've got here is our environment, which is pretty typical as far as we have a couple of different platforms. We don't have very many Linux systems, but we do use Windows and Mac, and we have our virtual environment there. Now all these guys are going to connect to our main file server. And we do have some hospital systems which we don't manage, but we need to make sure that our users can actually connect to those in the way that they would expect to. So doctors will come over from the hospital, they'll do some research at our site, and they need to be able to have the tools that they need. Next, we want to maintain consistency with those systems. We use imaging and software updates to make sure all those are covered. And what's important here is that even in our virtual environment, we're able to manage those guys as well. From the same type of system that we're maintaining the Windows systems. And then we want to have we use LANrev to be able to, and Web Help Desk, to be able to kind of manage all of those systems in one location. So we have, there's three of us that maintain our systems. One of them is a Windows user, the other two are Macs. And we want to have a consistent environment for all of us to be able to work with all those systems to do remote control of them and not have all these different tools that we have to use. So the way we see it is, there's one thing that's sort of missing in this slide, and that is really our admins, right? This is us, and we care about us, and we want to be able to work with all these systems. So we now have a solution that will allow us to control all of these systems and really put it all together.